everybody and welcome to this festive edition of your Crafternoon Tea. I'm here today as part of MHA Digital Community's Advent Calendar, and I'm going to be showing you how to turn a cardboard box into a little gingerbread house. So follow me through step by step and I'll show you how to make it. All you're going to need is some old bits of cardboard, a glue gun preferably, or some glue, and some paint to decorate it, or pens, whatever your choice is. So I hope you enjoy making this craft with me, and don't forget to share your makes with us. Okay, so to make your gingerbread house, you're going to need some cardboard. I've cut the tops of some boxes off, and they're probably the right width that I need as well. So what I've done is I've cut them, I've got 4 pieces here. I might need all 4, I might not. So I've drawn a rough triangle sort of shape, as you can see here. So this will be the top of or the front of our house. So let's see if some scissors will cut it. Because I've only drawn it out roughly, I might need to trim it as I go and change things, but that's, you know, part of the process. So I know that this edge needs neatening up, so I'm just going to trim this down. So there's the front of our house. What I'm going to need to do is, I don't think it will fit on this side, no. So I'm going to draw it onto this additional extra bit of cardboard that I had. It's okay that there's slightly different coloured cardboards as well, because we're going to decorate it. So I'm just going to draw around my template. So then I'll have the front and the back of my house. So you have to sort of bend it every now and then so you can get your scissors in. You can use a knife, like a Stanley knife if you have one, but make sure you've got a cutting mat, otherwise your table will be a little bit scratched. So I've got the front and the back of my house. They're both the same size, which is perfect, otherwise we're going to have a wonky roof. So there's part 1 and 2, I'm just going to pop those to the side. And then I've just drawn some long strips, so this will be the sides of our house. I'm going to cut it. I'm not sure if this is dead in the middle, so this might need some changing. Okay, so, oh, they're pretty perfect actually, that was lucky. So these are the 2 sides of our house. So if you look, they will slot there along the side. Okay, so again, we're going to pop those to the sides for a second. And then we've got one last bit to cut, and this will be the roof. So I haven't split this in half, so we'll see how this goes. I'm using quite thin cardboard, and that's how I've managed to use my scissors. But just use whatever you've got around the house. So this will be the roof. So again, it needs to be, well, it needs to be the same length really. So I'm just going to cut a little bit over, because it's better to have it too long and trim it down than too short. And the same for this. So again, there we go. So what we'll have now, you might want to write on them so you don't get them muddled up, but we've got the front, we've got the side. Let's see if I can hold it together to show you. And then we'll have the roof of our house. So it's a little bit over, so you have to have a little play around, make sure, oh, there we go. It is the right size. It's a little bit fiddly to hold together at the moment, but join me in a few seconds and I'll show you part 2 where we glue it all together and hold it in place. See you in a sec. Okay, so now I've got my glue gun. It will be quite easy to do with a glue gun to stick it all together, but if you don't have that, you can use PVA. It's just going to take a bit more time and be a bit fiddlier. So what I need to do first is I need to stick the sides onto the front and the back. So what I'm going to do is move these to the side. So this is my roof over here. So I'm going to choose this side because it's a bit flatter and nicer than this side. But it doesn't really matter, like I said, because we're going to decorate it. So I'm just going to put a strip of glue all the way down my front of house. And I'm just going to secure it in place, like so. So I'll just push it down so that it sits nicely on the table. So you can see we've got that stuck together now. The good thing of the glue gun is it does set quite quickly. So I'm just going to make sure that's going to line up with the back. Because you don't want it to be at an angle, otherwise you're going to have trouble when you come to attach it. So that seems pretty straight to me. What I'm going to do actually is while I prop that over here, I'm going to glue the other side to the back and then I'll bring them together. So again, I've put my strip of glue and I'm just going to stick this on, hold it in place. So now you can see when it comes together, we can gauge if it's looking right, which that looks like it's going to work. So, can you see? Yeah, perfect. Okay. So we'll just let this set for a second, like this one has. So this one's quite robust, it's not going to move now. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to put a strip of glue down here. And I'm going to put a strip of glue on here. And let's bring it together. So let's slot this one in. And then slot this one in. So just make sure it's nice and neat. Try not to get your fingers like I just did. And there we go. So our house, the base of our house is stuck together. So now all we've got to do is put the roof on. Let's hope the roof fits. It should do. Perfect. So what I want it to look like is I want to have a little bit of an overhang. That's why I did it slightly bigger. And it will join in the front. So find your middle place. Oh, a little bit fiddly, but once you get it, you'll be fine. So you can see, there we go, we're going to have our roof on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 2 strips of glue along this part of the cardboard, because I think it'll be easier to attach. Oh, ran out of glue. Add another glue stick into my gun. Now, let's pop it on. So just hold that in place for a second while it sets. And then I'm going to do the same with the other side. So I'm going to glue it all down. And just make sure it's in place and setting nicely. Might take you a few attempts, but you'll get there. Okay, so there we have it. We have our house complete and it's now time to decorate. So join me in the next part and I'll show you how to decorate your gingerbread house. Okay, so welcome back and it's now time to decorate our gingerbread house. So I've drawn a few just little rough designs on here and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to paint them on. But you can have a little look online, find anything that you're interested in, get creative and think of different ways to jazz up your cardboard box. So I'm going to start on the side. I won't do all of it because otherwise I'll be smudging it because I won't be able to put it down. But I'll show you a few different designs on each side. So I'm going to start off by doing my windows on the side of my house. I'll turn it around in a second and you can see the first window. So I'm just doing this bit in white, but you can add different colours as well. It's up to you. So there's window number 1 with a snowy windowsill and a little bit of detail over the top. And I'm just going to add the finishing touches of the detail here. There's another little bit in between. And then I've got another window as well, so. Okay, so side 1 all complete. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how to do part of the roof as well, a design that I've sort of made together. So I'm just going to scallop it. So I'm just going to do So the first level. Okay. Another level. I'm using acrylic paint, which is working quite well on this. It dries quite quickly too. But if you don't have acrylic paint, you could use pens around the house or poster paint or pencils. Not sure how well pencils will show up because the cardboard's quite dark. But just make use of what you've got. So we're almost there on the roof. So what I'm going to do now is I've got one more little level, but I'm going to add the snow along the bottom because then I can work out where the lines go for the next bit. I'm going to give it a snowy border. Like so. I'm probably not going to add the last line in because I think it might be too cluttered otherwise. So we've got our side so far, and then we just need to finish off now and do the front. So I'm going to paint my door on first. And then I've put a candy cane at either side, so I'll come back in a minute and add some red. That's why I'm doing these bits first, to give it time to dry, and I'm trying not to do it too thick so that my colours won't bleed together. So far. There we go. And then at the top, I'm going to do the little windows. And then just the last little bit of detail in those corners, and then we'll add a little splash of colour to finish it off. On that side. So there's the front of our house as well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to add a little bit of colour. So I'm going to add a reef to my door. I'm just going to do it a bit textured, make a circle. And then I'm going to try and make the top window a bit like a sweetie, but we'll see how that goes. A little bit, not really. Okay, so the last little bit now, we've just got to do the candy canes and add a bow to our wreath. So just do stripes on your candy canes. So, show you that quickly. Just going to add a little bow onto my wreath. Oh, and a little door handle as well. And then I've just got two little hearts up in this top corner. And there we have it. So here is our complete gingerbread house made out of cardboard. So I hope you've enjoyed making this craft with me, and I'll see you again soon for another festive Crafternoon tea. Take care.